Hi, my name is Abby, and for my final project and presentation, I want to talk about the place of natural gas and specifically fracking with regard to our climate future. And so, just to give a little bit of background, fracking is the high pressure injection of water, chemicals, and sand into shale deposits to release the gas and oil trapped within the rock. And then this gas is then used to produce electricity. And upon the production of electricity, it releases a lot less carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere than burning fossil fuels. So it's a good alternative to fossil fuels. And recent technological advancements, as I will touch on later, have helped harvest stores of gas that were impossible to reach before. And because of this, natural gas is expected to grow 44% by 2040. And so natural gas is seen as a transition energy source as we move from non-renewable energy sources to renewable energy sources. And I chose this topic because it kind of hits close to home. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Pittsburgh is located in the Marcellus Shale area, located within the Marcellus Shale Formation, and the Marcellus Shale Formation spans from New York to West Virginia, and it is just a rock formation of black rock shale that can be used for fracking and natural gas. And originally in the past, people didn't look upon this area for fracking because the shale was kind of thought to be impermeable to fracking fluid. But recent technological advancements, I say 2005, but have shown that they created a new kind of fracking called unconventional fracking, and this kind of fracking has let the shale become more permeable, and ever since, fracking became economically viable. And this unconventional fracking is what I want to talk about in my paper and I want to write my paper about whether this unconventional fracking is the best option as we transition from non-renewable to renewable energy sources. And the reason that a lot of people have a problem with unconventional fracking is because it is horizontal, the wells go deeper, and it uses more water. And it also has caused widespread harm. People think has caused widespread harm to U.S. drinking water. Because in order to frack, an enormous amount of water has to be mixed with various toxic chemical compounds to create the fracking fluid. And these large quantities, a congressional investigation found that between 2005 and 2009, oil and gas service companies used 29 different chemicals in their fracking fluid known to cause cancer or other health risks. And one of these chemicals was radium, and while the frac fluid found and used in the Marcellus Shale becomes radioactive, so then all of that frac fluid becomes radioactive to some degree, which is obviously a problem. And so so leaking from these fracking wells into wells that we use for U.S. or for drinking water, or if it leaks just into groundwater, obviously is a huge problem. However, people argue that the gains from natural gas outweigh the potential harms of leaks from the wells because natural gas ends our dependence on imported oil, and it also buys us time to develop new technology that will ultimately replace fossil transportation fuels. So natural gas obviously isn't the end goal. It's just going to help us in our transition. And it is also important to remember that the unconventional fracking, that is the main problem and causes the main harm to our drinking water, is only a tiny fraction of the more than 25,000 oil and gas wells that are being drilled every year. And these are the conventional wells that I kind of talked about before they created unconventional fracking that weren't as much of a problem. And the EPA also released a statement that said that hydraulic fracturing processes are being carried out in a way that has not led to widespread systematic impacts on drinking water. And this is mainly because drinking water quality data is usually insufficient, and there have been few long-term studies of fracking. And also wells drilled for fracking are still not that deep or deep enough to impact wells that are drilled for drinking water. And the benefits of natural gas usually outweigh the consequences of fracking because of the public health benefits of burning natural gas, because it produces fewer harmful chemicals in the air, and so it will save a lot of lives still now. And it produces between 44 to 50% of greenhouse gas emissions less, produces 44 to 50% less greenhouse gases compared with burning of coal.